Shut. Nailed it. Gimbal B, you're gonna be promoted. I don't know why you haven't been mod. Ultimate's power! Because I'm noticing a lot of not mods. KS Born Serenity's been around. Who else do I trust? Kybert's been around. Alright. Let's go with that. It is Ephemeron. On the top left, there's a blue tear, and it is Clem.
Game paused.
Don't bother. I want to pause these intros just as the game is paused. Thankfully, we don't have the responsibility of being referees. It's just too much responsibility, man. It's too much. Oh, ShowTime. Having a bit of the internet problems, oddly enough. Yeah, Fear Dragon with the burn, because I'm a Fear Dragon.
Game resumed.
Clem in the top left, and in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it is ShowTime. Game resumed. Replay saved. Blah, blah, blah. Thought it was health out of the baby dolls, like how, like PE, like physical education and health. I don't know, actually, because I legitimately have not heard of anyone in my generation. People I've talked to in esports, people I've talked to in other countries. Like, I don't even think my parents did the flour sack thing. I think it's mostly just a couple of schools did it, and it was funny. And then every sitcom ever ran with it, you know? Because I've never heard anyone who actually had to do that. All right, so got ourselves a TVP, and hot damn, it's between two pretty good players. Hey, it's once again Germany versus France. How about that? How about that? No comment. ShowTime was streaming yesterday, which is really, really cool, because he's also providing some commentary. He was perfecting some of his Protoss versus Zerg play. Low-key, guys. Most people are kind of low-key complaining more about Zerg. It's one of those things that's not really overbearing. You don't see a lot of people posting on Reddit and, you know, pros going to Twitter, not until there's a big tournament probably. But even if it's in, you know, they're trying to educate themselves and learn from their mistakes, a lot of it seems to be revolved around what they have to do versus Zerg. But it's always funny because Terran and Protoss have always had this thing. Oh no, is it gonna work? Oh, it's not gonna work. Reaper's gonna live though. Terran and Protoss have always had this thing where they've always like butted heads. Terran's called Protoss OP. Protoss goes, hey, that's not really fair. Terran goes, suck it. 1A monster. And then Zerg gets, oh, that's gonna die, I think. Yeah, it's not gonna heal fast enough. Oh, rip. And then Zerg just kind of like is in the background, like that meme image with the guy smoking like pot in the background. That's exactly what Zerg has been. Kind of drive-by shooting right now because Zerg's not even in this matchup, but the point is, TVP, someone says some very heated opinions about it. Both these players seem to be rather level-headed. Not a lot of complaints on Twitter. ShowTime, mostly known as a macro guy in his gameplay, and then a super level-headed guy outside of his gameplay, with a couple of cheeky tweets here and there. Clem? I think I follow Clem on Twitter. He doesn't tweet very much, so I don't know what his opinions are on any matchup. I'm interested to see what exactly like the current meta is in Europe right now in this matchup as well. Def's super annoying. ShowTime is going for a Stargate. And going right into Phoenix as well, so already a bit of a surprise there. Something that Clem cannot scout, right? He didn't get to scout the Stargate because the Reaper failed. He can't scout that it's Phoenix as well. He's gonna think, okay, Oracle timing's passed, it's not Oracle. Psych, it's not Oracle, but it is Stargate. And that's gonna be bad news, potentially, for this Banshee, that ShowTime does not know Clem is going for, but oh, I spoke too soon. Boom. Now all you gotta do is like do the like Mr. Burns thing where you like tap your fingers together and you're like, excellent. Because now all he needs is get like an Observer, an Oracle. Observer's gonna be safer because Oracle can run out of energy, and just demolish the Banshee opener. Flippin' demolish it. Oh, but you know it's gonna be funny? You know it's gonna be so funny right now, guys? Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. Oh, it's gonna be so funny, you guys. The Banshee's not gonna, it's gonna, oh, ShowTime, don't do this. Come back home. Okay, he's coming back home. It's always funny when they have this perfect opener against the Banshees, and they even know it's Banshees. And yet, because they're so overeager to just, as I said, demolish it, they miss the Banshee. It's so funny. But actually, ShowTime, arguably, over-defending. Getting shield batteries as well. Wouldn't even have to worry about the one Banshee. But what does have to worry about is this incoming push, which he did scout. Something or another was right here. He's going to block out the ramp to buy a little bit more time and then try and warp in as much as possible. Not upgrades on any one of these units. Actually, he's not going to block out the ramp. He's going to go for a Guardian Shield. Oh, jeez. Well, that's kind of a wasted Guardian Shield now. And the Banshee, well, it's trying its best. It's not going to do very much. It gets a shield battery. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna make any more Banshees, so I don't think it really matters, but okay. All right, no. Oh, I spoke too soon again. That is one more Banshee. That is exactly one more Banshee. He's gonna go for the bust, though. No Guardian Shield really sucks, but Phoenix coming from behind to take out the tanks. One instantly targeted down, second instantly targeted down, third targeted down. Clem with good focus fire saves one of the tanks. One of the tanks survives. Hot damn. This is eventually going to be cleaned up here. This Immortal should live. Bunker's not going to last very long either, and this is going to be cleaned up right now as I speak. Ah. Nailed it. 10 out of 10 commentary. That is usually the more dangerous thing about Banshees, too. Either that you don't expect them to have 3 with the main attack, or that you try and get the Banshees and you get distracted. But, whew, okay. Very interesting openers. Who came out ahead? I will say, I don't know. I think Clem. Clem has a 30cc on location. He's up 4 workers plus mules. That's fantastic. And the downside that you have to consider is how fast his stim is. It's actually almost already done. So I'm going to give this one to Clem. That lasted a long time. It traded out with very expensive units. It forced a, you know, it was always going to force a reaction. And then on top of that, you actually do some decent damage despite them being somewhat prepared for it. That's pretty good. Thank you very much, Flying Fridge with 200 bits. And then thank you. Oh, I thought I heard something else go down. Oh, for the 500 bits? Yeah. So 500 bits from Flying Fridge, and then 200 bits from Flying Fridge. Thank you very much. This attack from Clem looking quite dangerous. It's got +1 almost done for the weapons. Combat shield's also almost done. A lot of good upgrades coming in for this bio army, but it's not really that large. Perhaps ShowTime's can hold on here. He'll have to have his own +1 at least attack. He doesn't have charge, doesn't have blink. His Phoenix count died. His Observer just died. I don't know if Clem can beat him right here, right now, but he might be able to. Right now, his Marine count is looking a little vulnerable to the Colossus. But as soon as he gets more Marauders over here, he can jump on an army like this. Or just slowly siege push it. Tank's doing a pretty damn good job of that. Vikings are now on the way as well. A 4th base, too. Yeah, there's the front line of Marauders. What you gonna do about that now, sucker? Yeah, try your best to hold on here. Some decent force fields? Actually, not really. The Zealots end up reaching the tank at the last second. Colossus do end up doing a ton of damage, though. They got a lot of shots off and even saves that third Colossus. Well done. Lots of the other units also survived. Sentries and an Immortal. Very expensive units end up surviving that engagement. Clem, though, with really good macro behind this, has already got a bit of an army. As I said, he has a 4th base. He's got 2-2 upgrades on the way, so he will continue that upgrade lead. But ShowTime taking a surprisingly good fight. Those force fields, while not letting the Zealots contact anything, they kind of just skirted around, did let the Colossus free fire without being under attack until that very last portion of the fight where they were being jumped on. So still ultimately good force fields. Now, Clem's going to be a little scared right now, but I don't think he really has to be. The Viking count is slowly but steadily growing, and there's not a lot of stalkers. So Showtime, I think, would be a bit of a fool to actually attack into this. It might look like an okay opportunity, but you don't know what's coming from the left side. You have to account for an SCV pool as well. And even if you kill SCVs, if you lose your entire army, all those super expensive, slow-building Colossus, in an attempt to end the game, it's not going to look very pretty on the counter. Not at all. Clem able to afford all the things now, not just a lot of Vikings, but also Ghosts and the Ghost upgrade. Already on top of that War Prism, but now leaving the right side open to an attack. 3 Colossus won't kill Planetary particularly fast, and there are a lot of SCVs, so I think this might just hold. Yeah, it'll be okay. And that 1 Zealot actually doing some okay damage, but the Showtime's army's got to skedaddle, man. And there's nothing to take on these Vikings. Emergency force fields are thrown down, but the Vikings just are like, I don't care. 3 Stalkers? The hell with that. The Colossus go down without much done about it. Even the Vikings land to try and get a couple of those last Stalkers. Showtime now has to abandon ship on Colossus, which he was already doing. 3 Colossus is a good count, and he knows the Vikings are already countering any attempt to go for more Colossus, so definitely don't do that. But now they're dead. Definitely don't go back into Colossus. Disruptors has got to be the way back into this game. Storms will be easily EMP'd. Disruptors have to get some pretty sick engagements. They have the ability to do so. The potential is there, but Clem, very fast player, certainly can split against the Disruptors. And he's going to have a huge concave on this as well. Good split there. Actually ends up getting his own Zealot. Vikings land. EMPs blanket the army. Showtime desperate to take a good fight, but no good Disruptor shots coming down. That one was okay, but just too late. Not enough Disruptors. GG. Very tough game there for our Protoss player. Thank you, Dr. Foxhound, for 300 bits. Remember when Terrans could build a Bears before Supply Depot? Yeah, it's called Brood War. You're my favorite? Thank you. Yeah, that must be a very difficult push to hold. Someone in chat mentioned that Harson was practicing against that same push. It's not that it's a very, like, new push, right? Or unique push. Let me see. Let me think. Because the old Banshee tank push thing has been around for quite some time. And it is often the case that it's scouted and yet somehow isn't dealt with as perfectly as you would imagine. The Banshees escape your notice. They pair up, you know, in one place, and before your Phoenix can respond, they've killed 12 probes. The Banshees get you distracted. The army gets in position before you can do anything about it. I can certainly, like, I mean, it's very understandable that's a hard push to hold, especially by people who are very good at doing it and know what to focus and know what to do there. And Clem certainly did. Distracted the army. Pushed to the front. Focus fired the Phoenix. If he didn't focus fire the Phoenix, probably goes a lot worse. Even with the focus fire, he barely saved one tank. But I'm still a little surprised that ShowTime couldn't take a better fight. I think besides 2 shield batteries that were a little unnecessary, or being like super hypercritical, 200 minerals maybe could have been an extra warp in. I wasn't paying attention to his warp in frequency. I guess also that first push, right? The first Guardian Shield pop. Because not having a Guardian Shield for the actual push was maybe the biggest difference. Yeah. Well, anyways. I don't want to, over-evaluate that push, because we might not see it again. But I could also see it happening again. I don't know. Bottom right is Clem. Top left is ShowTime on Triton. Snowy map, snowy. Both of these players playing for an actual piece of the prize pool. It was, in the beginning, all for one. $100 to the winner, but then they split it. Per the request of pro gamers. So they're playing for any money at all. ShowTime loses here, he doesn't get anything. Pretty sure. No points, no money. It's top 2 they need to get to. And that's that could be a pretty tall order. Not only is it about 4 hours worth, maybe more, maybe a lot more, depending on just how the bracket works out. It's also a lot of really good players. I know some players also have to start worrying about revealing too much of their tournament play. With the big old tournament happening in just 3 weeks. 4 weeks actually. Kadivici starts on the 22nd, I think, of February. Maybe it starts on the 23rd. Around there, whatever. Around that time. Oh, Clem going for a second barracks. A 2-1-1 can be truly shocking. Some would say it's not very good. So you might have a bit of an Idra moment where they're like, what? 2-1? That's not even good. And then they die to it. I'm not sure where I stand on it in TVP. You also usually have a different variation of 2-1-1 in TVP, right? Where it's usually factory, barracks, factory, barracks. With a command center thrown in. So this is like an actual 2-1-1, like what you would expect if you were learning a TVZ 2-1-1. I think the difference is that you get the better protection early game with a factory already done. But you get that later drop. So this is not much protection. Okay, Apollo's moving my mic. Not much protection, but you're getting that crisp 5-minute drop. Crisp. Plosives. But that Oracle should scout it. So, Clem, maybe hoping it's not a Stargate opener again. Has not quite seen that it is or is not. He's seen 2 Adepts, though. Which is a clue. He's actually seen it's 3 Adepts, actually, that he's seen. So I think that's enough to say that it is Stargate. I'm sure there's people out there who go 3 Adepts in Twilight Council, but that's what I'd be most suspicious of. Clem certainly doesn't want his build found out, so I'm actually surprised he showed as many Marines as he did. That's only like 2 extra Marines than normal, so I think that takes some really smart play to notice. Far easier is an Oracle just getting in there. So it's not a 2-1-1. Whoa, what? No, what? What? Didn't he start stim? Am I crazy? Didn't he start stim? Hebaba? Hebaba? I'm gonna watch the stream. What is happening? I could have sworn he started stim. in accordance to the usual 2-1-1 here. Oh, it's so weird. Well, Viking's gonna catch the Oracle, something they can do about it. Stargate is producing a Phoenix now. Into Robo, third Nexus down, Twilight Council now on the way. Will they actually go to Phoenix? I don't think so. So can you like someone? You go into Phoenix. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, right now, if he didn't go into Phoenix, he would have very little anti-air. He doesn't even have Blink List Stalkers. Yeah, he did start Stim, and then he canceled it. Wow, okay, pretty immediately, so I just missed that. My bad. Well, that's so weird, though. So, he could have had a crisp 2-1-1, as I said, like the 5-minute timing, but instead he showed what looked like almost a 2-1, or a 1-1-1, because second barracks wasn't found out. But it hits 30 seconds later. I guess it still is a very surprising drop timing, so it's still working out. I guess this is actually super smart. Wow, okay, alright. Is it though? Showtime just warps in. A little bit of panic, and then he's like, wait, I have warp ins, and he just defends it? I don't... Well, it's a new one on me, guys. New one on me. But let's focus away from that. Go back to the macro here. Clem, 3rd CC on location. Combat shields and +1 about to finish up. Showtime does start up charge without getting very many Phoenix. So his anti-air is not super dependable. If this was a lot of drops, it'd be a little sketch. But it's not going to be a lot of drops. Clem not going to try and force the issue against Phoenix, even if it's only 3. Charge will finish up here, and Colossus will be made. But again, no. Oh! If the Marauder wasn't so damn chonky, that wouldn't have actually triggered. Clem still has a pretty good army supply, all things considered. Even without like a fourth of his army involved, he's still trying to tackle this. That's bold, my dude. Showtime might have Colossus and Charge and a decent number of units, but he does not have any upgrades. So Clem will continue his upgrade lead with +1 armor starting up here. He's got a decent number of Widow Mines. Even though they've been revealed, they are still very deadly to the charge lots. That Colossus needs to come out right here, right now. One Oracle goes down. Zealots being murdered where they can really do very much. The Widow Mines still have not been popped. Oh! Actually trying to get a big sacrifice of the Phoenix off of the Medivacs almost worked. They're very, very low, but they are still alive with a lot of energy left over. Here comes the Colossus now to save the day with just barely enough units on the ground to actually hold on. That was awfully scary. Whoo, hoo, hoo, hoo. Good call going to Stalkers in the main base. Very typical for a double drop since the Medivacs are alive to go into that main base, but not so. It is still more about the main push. He's got a Revelation on there, and he still has an Oracle left alive for another one in the future. But it's now 3 bases to 3 bases. Showtime just now really getting his saturation all the way up, and just now getting his forges. So he'll be behind a full 1-1 upgrade. Couple freebies. Pylon here, Stalker over there. Liberator also getting 5, 6, 7. Ho-ho, good save on the 7 one. Ho-ho. Getting 6 probes. Really decent follow-up there. That was a good attack overall. Would have been very different, I think, if 5 Medivacs died. 4 Medivacs died, but they're weak. They're not dead. Thermal Lance has completed for the 2 Colossus. Force fields are available, but the Colossus not paying attention. Oh, dumb Colossus. You dumb. Distracted by a Liberator over here and over here? Is either 2 Liberators or a Medivac drop I missed. I'm not sure, but these Liberator doing a decent amount. Getting a Stalker, getting probes. Stasis Trap was triggered by nothing important. Am I crazy? I heard a Stasis Trap trigger. Okay, well. Clem also adding on a 2nd starport. Yeah, it's already added on. Waiting to go into Ghosts and 2-2, so getting all of his gases right now. I'd say actually they're a little bit late, but he is still able to afford 3 Vikings at a time, and still with a very sizable ground army. Medivacs are low, but there's nothing really here to kill them. ShowTime warping in more Stalkers and bringing in the Stalkers from the high ground up to take on this fight. 2 Colossus alive, but damn, you wish he had a third one. He should have a third one. Feels very, very bad, but he is going to hold. Clem not going to tango, not yet. And one could certainly say that he doesn't have to tango, so why even risk it? He's got the upgrade lead, although it has decreased. He does start 2-2 now. ShowTime does have Chronos. That's always nice. Doesn't have Blink. But Colossus are, again, kind of similar to last game. Maybe not so much the issue anymore. He is back up to 3. A very good count to have. And into Disruptors. Scan reveals the stasis trap. I guess he just killed it. What's what happened last time. Ghosts without the upgrade on the way. Oh, bummer. 4th base finally here for ShowTime as Clem finishes up his. 2 Zealots going to try and at least stall that out for a little bit. Revelation not going to be cast. Goodbye, Oracle. Oh, barely missed the timing of the planetary. Not really enough to distract Clem too much as he continues to roam around the map. He's got 1 EMP available. I'm gonna go for the sentries in this case, I guess. There's no High Templars. He grabs most of them. 1 Guardian Shield is left over. Another Ghost is here. Disruptor, not gonna get too much. Gets a single Marauder. 2nd Disruptor is out. Gonna go for the big kill. Not gonna find anything. Vikings also finding, I think, a Colossus right there. Almost. Most of them still alive. ShowTime forced to retreat. Now supply block as well. Hoping for another Disruptor hit before they all go down, but that one's gonna get targeted. This one is almost ready, but the Colossus once again being targeted by the Vikings. They're not quite gonna go down. First one goes down. Second one not being targeted, actually. This could be an opportunity to get both of them, or maybe neither one of them. Nope, one goes down. The rest of the army just disappears to the might of the bio. And the Disruptors are not gonna be what saves the day. Clem almost doubling the supply of his opponent. Superb TDP. I mean, damn. Don't really have a complaint on how Clem played out both of those games. The only thing I have a question of is what happened with the 2-1-1.